Hey, what's going on, everybody? Couple things. One, after that video I made, the self-check video, dude, I want to just say I really appreciate everybody who commented on it, who reacted to it, and those of you that reached out to me, man, wow, dude, I was just surprised with how much people were just. I was just overwhelmed with a lot of love and support, and I really appreciate it, you guys. But I just want to reassure everybody, man, I'm okay. I think maybe a little bit of the wrong message got put across. So I'm not like feeling this way anymore. Okay. So that video I made was literally, the end, the accumulation of all of the emotions that was going through me and everything. And it all came to that one point. All right. And I finally made the video and it's over. So I appreciate the love and everything. And I appreciate you guys coming out to see me. A lot of people came out to the house to check up on me. Really appreciate that, you guys. I love you guys, man. And hey, the feeling's mutual. If you need help, man, just know I'm here, bro. And I got your back, and I'm willing to come out there to help you as well if I can. All right. But let's just get down to it. I just wanted to say thank you again for all the love and support. And but I am good, you guys. I'm absolutely fine. I go through mental battles like the rest of us. I didn't want to post that. Honestly, I didn't want to post it. I was scared to. Obviously, I was very vulnerable. I literally told you guys things I don't even like privately share with myself. Like I literally hide that kind of stuff from myself. So for me to put it out there for you guys, understand that wasn't easy for me to do. I literally posted it, and then for like the next 2 days, I just put my phone like on airplane because I knew people were going to hit me up, and I didn't want them to. But I want you guys to understand, man. No, you know what? Don't get me wrong. Don't misunderstand me. I appreciate you guys hitting me up, man. But I guess that wasn't the intended outcome. I guess more so the intended outcome would have been just that, you know, that men in my similar position or whatever, not that I have much of a position, but just kind of where I'm at in my life, men similar to that would, what the fuck was I saying? Yeah, I want them to know that it's okay, right, to be able to communicate with yourself about these things and try to resolute them on your own. And I'm not saying like, excuse me. Oh, sorry. I'm not saying that obviously the quickest fix is not what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about the permanent fix for temporary problems kind of fix. I'm talking about like the temporary problems might take a little longer for you to fix than the permanent fix that y'all know I'm talking about. So, and it took me a little bit to get to the bottom of it, and I did within myself. And I just wanted the world to, you know, at least those little bit of you that do listen, just to kind of know that it's okay, man. It's just okay. And I do appreciate all the responses I got. Again, I just want to say thank you guys for reaching out. I love you guys, and I just wanted to spend, what was that, about 4 minutes just telling you guys how much I appreciated all the love and support I got from that. But I'm okay. All right, I really appreciate it. But yeah, the Treeline podcast has been put on pause for a while. As you all know from the last video, I was going through it. All right, and now I'm through it. So we're gonna get the ball back up and rolling. I'm gonna need some guests to come on. I got hit up really early this morning. I get hit up a lot by buddies. I'm not going to name names, but I think that they get super motivated when they're drinking, and they hit me up like stupid early in the morning, like, dude, we got to do the podcast. We got to do it. And I'm about it, man. I'm so about it. And I love when you guys call me, man. Keep trying to hit me up. But I promise, man, I'm normally I'm racked out at like 9 at night, 2100. So I'm up pretty early and I'm out pretty early. So if you're gonna hit me up, try to hit me up during the day. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to try to get back to you. And when I get back to you, I mean, you're probably not gonna be in the same state of mind as you were, which isn't a big problem. I understand the love's still there, and the motivation's still there. But try to hit me up during the day. Try to hit me up. Text me. And we can correlate some things. Anyways, that's all logistical things. How am I doing? I'm good, man. I'm good. Everything's good. I don't even know what to talk about. I'm just here in the Treeline podcast. I'm stoked to get the ball back up and rolling. It's really early in the morning, and I just had the motivation to get in here and run it, man. So, but let's talk about some current events. I guess we can run into some current events just the day before. Well, no, not the day before yesterday. I believe it was Thursday, and today is Saturday. So the day before yesterday, there was a UAP hearing subcommittee in Congress the other day, and that was really interesting. But I don't know how much I want to go into it because this isn't I don't know, just shit that goes on in my life, I guess. But this dude Grosh, Fravor, and some other cat testified in front of a subcommittee of Congress for the whistleblowing UAP whistleblowers. And dude, like Fravor, we all know his story. He's the pilot. He's the one that footage came out, and we all seen it. That was dope. And his, I mean, you can't say that man's lying. Like, we all seen the footage, so it's like, it's dope. That his story is just dope because it's corroborated by like physical evidence, which is awesome. And then Grosh, like, he says a lot of things that can't really be corroborated because a lot of the evidence he has is like top secret, so we don't really know. We're just kind of taking his word on it, but still interesting things he's talking about, like saying we got biologicals and stuff. And then Lockheed Martin just came out saying, because I guess some news station asked him, like, hey, what do you know about these UAPs and down engineering them? And they're like, it's best that all UAP this is the official answer, by the way, and I look it up, but I'm on airplane mode so I can record the volume. But basically, verbatim is what Lockheed Martin had responded was, all UAP questions are better directed to the government. Basically saying, we ain't answering your questions. So again, they got turned away. It's just funny, man. Like, a lot of these guys keep getting turned away. But I mean, Burchett, the leader of the subcommittee for the UAP Congress Subcommittee, he made a really good point when he said, you start taking the most fire from the enemy when you're flying right over them. You know what I'm saying? he's making sense, man, because they're getting a lot of pushback right now, and that might mean that they're right on the X, man. I mean, the enemy really only pushes back when they're cornered, dude. You know what I'm saying? I had a platoon sergeant one time in Afghanistan, and he put it really simple one time. We had pretty much did this cordon. I can't remember if it's the term. There was this strip of land down Sistani and Marja in Afghanistan, and there was compounds on either side. So it was just one strip of land. So it was literally like a lane. And those of you that have been training in 29 Palms or been in the military, like, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about lanes. And this was about the size of like a training lane, and except for, it was about I want to say it was a little more than a click long, so we did a lot more clearing than just a regular lane, and it was a mounted patrol, so we weren't walking the whole time. We had MRAPs and map views. But anyways, the platoon sergeant had explained something at the end of the day in the debrief, because as soon as we got to that last compound, some rounds went off, and then the enemy just booked it off in a vehicle. And it's funny because he was cornered. The enemy was cornered at the end of the block, and my platoon sergeant, he says, when he took off, that dude took off in a car, just started firing rounds off. He just took off into the desert, basically. And then my platoon sergeant, he looks at me, he's like, what do you say? He says, you know what happens when you happens when you corner a raccoon in a corner, right? I was like, that's simple joke, but it makes a lot of sense, man. It makes a lot of sense. And it's just stuck with me ever since. So I use that term now, too, and it's not even that funny. So when I say it, people are like, dude, it's not that funny. And it's like, yeah, well, I had a platoon sergeant once that told me it, and it made sense to me, and that doesn't really resonate with people. People don't give a fuck about that. But anyways, yeah, so I don't know where I was going with that story, but yes. Oh, yeah, when you corner people, they start biting back, and I think that is kind of where the UAP task force is at right now. They have kind of migrated their way from the federal government, right? And they're moving towards private companies. Now they're going towards Boeing, Lockheed Martin, all these. And Lockheed Martin is the one in charge of Skunk Works, which is, as we all know, nobody knows what the fuck is going on in Skunk Works, right? All we know is they pooped out a freaking stealth fighter, like a couple decades ago. Like, we know that, you know what I'm saying? But and the Blackbird too, right? The S-71 Blackbird, is that what it's called? I believe. Yeah, that thing, I'm pretty sure came from Skunk Works too. So like, Skunk Works makes things and doesn't tell us until it wants to, and it's been doing that for years. So we can just assume that it has all kinds of stuff that we can, equate to our physics that we just don't know about. So like, I'm sure they got plenty of things that are not UAPs that we just don't know about. That might be like military or military contract or whatever. But I'm sure they got plenty of things that would make sense in the human eye, like fixed wing or rotary wing. And then they got a couple things that they haven't told us about. And somebody told me this the other day, and it made so much sense to me, man. Now listen to this. Imagine this. Imagine the federal government back in the 30s, right? The federal government was so untrustworthy of itself that let's say that back in the 30s that the government, I'm sorry, let me start this over. The government back in the 30s, not theoretically. I'm going to shut the hell up for a second. Look at this like a theory, all right? Here's a theory, okay? Theoretically. Okay, so I did use the right term. All right. So in theory, let's say in this theory, in the 1930s, the federal government was like, hey, man, we need to hire a private agency because we can't trust ourselves with this information. We can't trust ourselves with this technology. So let's hire a private company, self-sustaining, and everything that goes to it, we'll just label it secret, top secret, or whatever, so that as soon as it goes across our desk and we label that, we stamp top secret on it, push it over to the private company that was hired by the federal government back in the 30s so that we don't fuck it up because we can't trust ourselves. The federal government can't trust ourselves. So let's get a third-party company. And then I think that's what happened in the 30s, except I guess fixed in those contracts back then that didn't, I guess, really make reality then, which is making reality now. God, I'm trying to put this into words, but it's really difficult. Reality now is that, was it 90 years later, that initial contract they had signed in the 30s to put all this top secret information involving UAP UFO towards that private agency, that contract must have fixed it to where there's no breaking it. Because it's been 90 years, and this isn't the first time the federal government has looked into things. Like you got the Blue Book, you got like Roswell, you got some weird stuff that happened in Brazil that supposedly America was involved with. So there's and that was back in I think that was the 90s. So there's all kinds of crap America's been involved with publicly, right? That not really publicly. That Brazil thing just recently came out, and that was back in the 90s. So not necessarily publicly. But the federal government has been doing stuff, I guess, low-key UAP stuff. I think the de-engineering things were originally signed over to private companies that became Boeing, that became Lockheed Martin, that became the Skunk Works division of Lockheed Martin. I think that initially that was whatever those private companies are hiding, that agency of those private companies or that element of those private companies was around probably in the 30s and got contracted in, and then ever since then have evolved into Boeing and all these other companies I'd mentioned. So it's just interesting to think about, and I don't know. This is my first episode back, and I guess I'm all over the place. I get it. I guess the main thing I wanted to do, I guess this will only be a 15-minute little pod, but the main thing I wanted to do was just thank everybody for reaching out and really showing the love, man, and help pulling me out of it. But when I did post that, I just want you guys to be reassured that I was on my way out of it. I was pulling myself out of it. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. And those of you guys out there too, especially you military vets, bro, that are going through it on your own, understand, man, you can get help, dude. You can definitely get help. There's plenty of help out there for you to get. But at the same time, if you feel like you can do it on your own and you can pull yourself back on your own, then do it, man. Do it. If you think you can do it, man, do it. But if you're not confident that you can do it on your own, then seek guidance. That's the only thing I can get. That's the only thing I can say, man. I found success in pushing away therapists and pushing away medications and pushing away some self-medication practices I was doing for many years, like drinking. And I say I push it away, but dude, it's still very fresh. It's not even been a year, so I think about drinking fucking every day. So it's not easy. Anyways. What I'm trying to say is just, I guess, if you think you could do it on your own and you're confident that you're at a point in your life where you can look yourself in the mirror and be like, bro, it's time. It's time to step up. It's time to move forward. It's time to get the fuck out of this fucking hole you dug yourself into, whether it's drinking, alcohol, drugs, whatever your thing is. Whatever. I don't care if you got other bad habits that you need to break. It don't matter. Whatever it is dragging you down. If you think you can take care of it on your own, I think that God, I don't know if there's a God, man, but if there is a God, I think that even if it's just evolution, even if whatever we think God is really just evolution, who knows? But I think that whether God gave it to us or we evolved it, we have something inside us that's self-medicating. And as long as we can tap into, I'm not saying we can heal our own freaking cancers, all right? But I'm saying a lot of these mental issues we had, humans were dealing with them well before medications, all right? And a medication, and I'm just telling you, man, I'm not like super against them, man. I'm not going to take like a freaking stand against them, but I am going to tell you this, man. If you need to take a medication for the rest of your life to make you seem like or feel like you might be just okay, like that's a crutch, man. That's called dependency, man. And the human body before pills were around weren't used to just finding a substance to get used to or to get completely addicted to and stay with for your whole life. Normally, like an addiction could be like, I don't know. Actually, you know, who am I to talk about addiction? I'm going to shut the fuck up. But I'm going to say one thing, man. I'm going to say one thing. If you think you can handle your issues on your own, by God, you got my support, man. You can hit up your buddies for help too, man. But if you think that you can step away from some of your mental anguishes on your own, have confidence in yourself and do so. All right? But if you need help, reach out. There's no shame in that either, man. I'm not saying there's shame in your game if you don't want to reach out. I'm saying there's shame in your game if you know you can help yourself, but you decide not to. No, okay, that's fucked up. Oh, man, I'm not going to edit this. But I don't know. I guess I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think that if you're capable of helping yourself and you're confident that you can do so, do it and try to. And if you don't know how to, find ways to do it. Go to Google. Go seek guidance from buddies that have experienced similar things. Go do what you got to do. Figure out the ways to do it, man. And honestly, like I would almost venture to recommend doing that before you seek a medication or some other self enhancing things like, I don't know, any substance. If you think you can handle it on your own, I would recommend trying to do that before you go to a substance. Substance should be last resort, man. I mean, I wish doctors would tell. Oh my God, I wish doctors would tell you that. What doctor has ever had you sit down in their office, dude? What mental doctor has ever had you sit down and be like, "Look, man, you look like you could use some Prozac with what you're telling me. All right, but listen, we're gonna try everything else first before we put you on Prozac." How many doctors have ever said that? I'm just pissing myself off thinking about that right now. How many doctors have ever told me, "Listen, man, before we put you on these meds, there's a couple things we want to try"? Fucking none, dude. Bro, I'm getting pissed just thinking about this. All right, I'm going to shut it down, man, because I'm really getting pissed off about this. But it's true. Doctors don't fucking tell you to different ways and methods to help yourself before instantly passing you medications, bro. Think about that, man. Think about that. For billions of years, I'm sorry, but for billions of fucking years, man. For billions of years, humans have not had Prozac. Humans have not had fucking all these other, what the fuck is there? Prozac, and then I don't know. There's a I don't know. I forgot the rest of them, but there's a shit ton of those fucking psychological drugs, man. That should be last resort. They should be last resort. Why are they not last resort? Why? Like what the fuck, dude? It's insane, man. It's insane, bro. Like let's say you hurt your leg. You hurt your leg. Right? Let's go to the doctor first. Let's get some x-rays first. Let's not just give the motherfucking crutches to walk around on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, dude? Anyways, I love you guys. I think it's only been, what? Damn, 20 minutes. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry if I yelled and I ranted a little bit. It's been a while since I've been on camera. Love you guys. Again, I'm going to try to keep them going. I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. I know the pace has slowed down. The pace has slowed down, as we spoke about. I was going through it, but now I'm through it. So, hopefully we're going to pick the videos back up. I'm going to start hitting you guys up. If you know who I'm talking to out there, I've already talked to you about being on the pod. Stand the F by. I'm coming through. We're going to do this. Deuces. I love you guys. Have a great day. Again, thank you so much for all the love and support. And Treeline Podcast, like, comment, support, fucking follow, do all that shit. If you don't and you just watch, I love you. But, dude, help me out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Scratch my back, bro. All right. Love you guys. Be safe.